Alright, here we are in the land of Bidenomics. That's going to be hard to say. And we already have Janet Yellen back saying we need to act big to save the economy. Economists don't always agree, but there is a consensus now. Without further action, we risk a longer, more painful recession now and long-term scarring of the economy later. Well, it's just a no-brainer, right? Why wouldn't you do it then, right? So there's a lot of doublespeak going on here. There's this idea that the Republicans might stop how the Democrats want to spend in the next 4 years, but that they're going to have a hard time stopping it because they never stopped Trump spending the last 4 years, so the Republicans can't even claim to be fiscal conservatives anymore, so there's probably not going to be any holdup there. Aid to distribute the vaccine, reopen schools, help states keep firefighters and teachers on the job. Of course, the teachers are hardly teaching, they're teaching from home. I mean, the teachers in Chicago are even on strike, which I'll get to later, which they just don't want to work and still get paid the same. Budget deficit is already running at 15% of the GDP. So they're going to pretend to care about the debt burden. Like, they'll say the words, but their actions won't. Their actions show that they don't give a shit. So anything that comes after the word but is what they really mean. So they want, with interest rates at historic lows, they want to act big. Now this is scary. 100 years ago this would have scared people. They believe that the benefits will far outweigh the costs, especially if you care about helping people who've been struggling for a very long time now. This is just very evil, because the people who are struggling the most will be the poor, who don't own assets, and the inflation is going to eat them alive through this fiscal policy. So it's a shame. Of course, Janet Yellen's policies are consistent with the IMF on January 15th saying, spend as much as you can. Policymakers worldwide should embrace more spending to help revive their stuttering economies, which, is just going to sabotage the growth by, you're just going to burden the economy with debt and incentivize people not to work. What they really need to do is open up the economy, and the government just needs to get out of the way. We don't need more government intervention. I continue to advocate for monetary policy and fiscal policies that protect the economy from collapse. Ironic that these policies will be what ends up collapsing it. So, gold is still pretty stagnant, but I thought I would do an update on let's see here. Yeah, more and more people will be interested in gold as a hedge against inflation from the crazy spending and stimulus. They can't raise interest rates, so I mean, interest rates are like at 1% now, but it's still negative real interest rates, so gold should keep going up, even though it's been lagging the last 6 months. So here we are looking at a graph of the debt to GDP, and the two gray areas are the two prior recessions of 2000 and 2008, and the yellow area is the coronavirus pandemic. And as you can see, there's no restraint on spending anymore. It's just, safety first. No one asks how anything's paid for anymore. how is this paid for is a question for last century. Spending is just off the charts. Um, it's very important to be aware of this, to be aware of just how much the government is spending your money. So, the Chicago teachers are on strike. Um, of course, they're still getting paid their full amount, you know, and of course, look at this picture. They're out here in this freezing cold. They're so virtuous, you know. They're protesting Chicago's reopening plan due to COVID-19 safety concerns Thursday morning. They're concerned about their safety, you see, so they want to destroy the mental health of all the kids by forcing everyone to stay home. And of course, if they had a pay cut, if they only could keep their pay by going back to the classrooms, I wonder how much they'd be focused on safety then. So this is just all a bunch of virtue signaling bullshit so they can collect the same pay without having to work. Fantastic, public servants. Why are public sector unions even legal? So here's I thought I'd give you an update just on the general markets. Here's just a general overview. Here we can see, over 3 years the Nasdaq's gone up to 100%. The tech bubble's just continuing to blow up like mad. We got here 3 years in the commodities. We can see here in the 3 years, or even in 6 months, you can see here all these, especially natural gas. You can see this is the inflation starting to kick in, because you know that these price increases aren't because demand is increasing. These price increases are because of money supply increases and supply shortfalls because people can't go to work. Worth mentioning, I suppose, that soybeans have made a slight correction down 7% on the week, but very important to realize that soybeans have gone up 40% this last year. That's quite a big move. I mean, they were 1,400. Let's see here. So it wouldn't be a complete update in finance if you hadn't heard. Now, the Reddit subform Wall Street Bets has created a monster. Now this is a long-term graph of GameStop stock. Look at this shit. Look at this spike in volume right here. Like, they drove this stock from $40 to 65 in like 4 days. Like, look at this. I mean, you can research it more, but Wall Street Bets declares victory as GameStop soars over 50%. So let's see when this bubble pops. Like, this is gonna be really interesting. Like, tomorrow morning on Monday, like, I'm gonna like check and see like did this tank or did it just keep going up? So, but that's it for now.